everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I am doing a book recommendation video for my Read Around the World-a-thon 2024. So I announced this readathon just last month? Yes, already last month. Wow. But it is going to be going on the entire year of 2024. I will link the announcement video as well as the graphics down below if you want to check them out, but I have my printable right here. So really quickly, all you have to do is, the only rule is you have to go in order on the map from the start all the way through to the end. So because along the way, when you are able to make the either 3 prompts, 1 prompt, 2 prompt, you get to visit each place with the icon. So I didn't actually put the place, but I mean, I made them pretty recognizable, like San Francisco, Hawaii and stuff. Actually, I gotta fix my Storygraph. I did make a Storygraph, so I will link that down below as well. I finally got that up and running. But today, this video is going to be all about the book recommendations for each prompt. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for packing list on the cover, I actually found 2 middle grades that work for this, at least on my carts. I'm sure there's a lot more, but these were the first 2 that I've read that I do absolutely love. The first one is Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. This specific cover has a book on the cover. So for us book lovers, you do pack a book. Even if it's a Kindle book, it's still packing a book. So book on the cover there, as well as Restart by Gordon Corman, one of my favorite middle grade authors. And some of us, like me, will pack their glasses, although I do wear mine. But a lot of us pack our reading glasses or whatever, hopefully not broken ones, as they're broken on there. But glasses work perfectly as a packing item list. Okay, and I found a few more. So I would also include stuff that has jewelry on the cover, because some of us pack jewelry while we're traveling. So on In This Moment by Gabrielle Mayer, this is book 2, but she has a necklace here as well as earrings. I think the other girl, no, she's not wearing any jewelry, but the other one is. So this would be also anything with jewelry on the cover works. Makeup, anything really that you would pack on a trip. It doesn't even have to be technically you personally, because, well, I used to pack jewelry, but I don't really anymore. But positively Penelope, not like the masks and stuff, although you could if you go on like a masquerade type trip that you're going to a ball or something. But clothing, anybody that's wearing clothing, you pack clothing. That's mandatory. So that would work. And book love, because obviously there's a ton of books on there and you do pack books. Not that many. Although if you're going on a book trip, who knows? Last book trip I took, like, yeah, I probably did take that many books. Yeah, I probably did. But any of those would work. As I said, if you need any help with these prompts, please let me know and I will be happy to help. Okay, so prompt number 2 is mode of transportation on the cover. So anything, I'm talking literally anything. If you find roller skates, a skateboard, pretty much anything that's just any mode of transportation, surfboard, train, car, plane, boat, whatever, helicopter, whatever you can find, it will fit. I don't even know if I have any, but we'll go check really quick. Okay, I found Secrets in the Mist by Morgan L. Bussey. I have not read it yet, but there is a hot air balloon right there. Those would obviously work perfectly for this prompt. I'd actually use that for that prompt. The Sound of Light by Sarah Sundin, and this one has 2 airplanes in the corner, so that would work. I don't even care what size it is. If it's that small on the cover, it's fine. It fits. This is a little bit of a stretch, but I would accept it if you want. Dragons on the cover. There's a dragon on this cover. He's kind of small, but if it's a bigger dragon on the cover, I would definitely say yes. This is the Dragon Keeper Saga, Book 1, The Dragon and the Stone by Catherine Butler. So yes, that would definitely count, a dragon on the cover. So I would count that. I would count anything, any big animal that you could technically ride, like a horse, a dragon, an elephant. I'm okay with that too. Okay, so I don't think I have that many as far as transportation goes. That's as much as I could give you for that prompt. But again, if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, so the next prompt is character you would bring on a trip. There's lots. I mean, that's up to, like, honestly, your personal preference. If you liked a character, that's a character you bring with you. So honestly, you can mood read during the month and just pick one of those books that had a great character that you liked. So I found one here on my book cart. So The Girl with the Louding Voice, by Abidare. Honestly, I really, really like Aduni in this book. I feel like she would be a great character to bring along. Let's see. Mary Poppins, any of the books in the Mary Poppins series. I've only read book 1, but the rest of the series is on my list to read. These also need dusting. I have not dusted the ones on my book cart at all. So yeah. But any Mary Poppins book would work because she's like, you know, you'd be going on all kinds of adventures with her. Absolutely. So I would totally bring her on a trip. Also, Susanna from Once Upon a Prince by Rachel Hauck. I am actually planning on rereading this series because I loved it growing up and I need to reread the series next year. So I will be rereading this. So definitely she's one of my favorite characters. I would bring her on a trip. Book Love, again, by Debbie Tung. 100%. This is a book lover's best friend to bring on a trip. I mean, obviously, she's a book lover. So she would be so much fun to bring on a trip. And then Penelope, Positively Penelope by Paperbacks. 100% I would take Penelope on a trip with me. She would be so much fun. She honestly reminds me a lot of my mom. She's very talkative and her stories go on forever. So I just feel like we would get along really well because she reminds me of my mom a lot. So those are a few characters I would definitely bring along on a trip. Okay, so the next prompt is a book you would take on vacation. So honestly, can't give you a recommendation for that because that's pretty much either anything you're currently reading would work for that, or if you just want to pick a book that has like a nice vacation-y feel, you can do that. You can use that honestly in any number of ways. I would take it. Just a book you would take on vacation. So that works any way really that you want to do it. If you want to do a summery book, a wintry book for a winter vacation, it's all up to you. Okay, the next one is set in a place you have lived. So for me personally, I have lived in a few places. So I do have tons of options. I have lived in Washington State, New York State, which I currently live in. I've lived in Texas. I've lived in Germany. I think that's everywhere. Yes, Germany was when I was 3 years old, so I don't remember much of it, if anything. I do remember our neighbor with the horses. That's like my first memory. And it's a happy memory for sure. But yeah, so Germany honestly is like one of the easiest. A lot of World War II books are set in there, so I probably will pick a World War II setting book. Maybe. There's also tons of books that take place in New York, so I can't give you a recommendation because I don't necessarily know where you live. You all live everywhere, pretty much. But if you need help finding a book for a specific state or country, please let me know, and I will be happy to help you find a book that hopefully is set where you live. Okay, and then the next prompt is, let's see, translated to a language you would like to learn. So again, this is one that can't really help you with. I'm either probably going to go with either Italian, French. I do know a little bit of French and a very little Italian, but those are two that I would definitely love to learn. Honestly, Icelandic has been one that has intrigued me most of my life. I don't know why, it just sounds intriguing to me to learn. So I doubt I will find a book translated from Icelandic, but a lot of authors are really nice. If you can't find any info, usually you can find, if you go to Goodreads and you look for a specific book, you can click on that book's different what is it called? You look that up. Different it's either different covers or just different editions. Look up the different editions and it will show you all the foreign language editions of that specific book. I also know that I have a lot of author friends, so I can just message them and say, have your books ever been translated into one of these languages? And I'm sure they'll let me know. So that's another easy way if you number one, know an author, or if you know that they're really nice on Instagram or Facebook, just kindly message them and ask, hey, I'm doing a prompt for Katie's Readathon and I need help if your book has ever been translated into a language. You can even just word it that way. You don't have to say like a specific language. That way you have options. So pick a couple of different languages. I do know Tessa Afshar, Misu Andrews. Those two authors I know have been translated to different languages. I'm not sure who else has been. That's just recently I've learned that those two have, so I'm not sure about anybody else's, but those are two that I know have. I just don't know which specific books. So I should have done a little bit more research on this one. But again, if you want help with this prompt, please let me know and I will be happy to help. But yeah, so I will be doing research too on this one. So when this prompt comes around, I'm going to do one a month for the entire year. When this prompt comes around, I will have a specific recommendation video that month for that prompt. So it's probably going to be in June. We'll have that for that prompt. Okay, the next prompt is written by an author from another country. So this is from another country from where you live. So if you live in the US, pick any other author that lives anywhere else, from Canada, from Europe, from Africa, from Australia, any other place except US. So again, Canada, any place else but Canada. So anywhere that you live, just pick an author that's from another country. So again, this one would work. The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abidare. I believe she's from Africa, but she could be, I don't believe she's African American. Let me just double check. Yeah, she grew up in Nigeria before moving to the UK. So she is from Nigeria and the UK. So either one would count. If you're from one or the other, then that's okay because she's from both countries. So, but definitely, and it's really good. I really do highly recommend this book. It does have a few swear words, but it's honestly towards the end of the book. So, but I do really enjoy this book. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, so that one would work. Let's see. Trying to think of authors that I know are from other countries. Oh yeah, she is. I do know that B.A. Paris, Behind Closed Doors, she is from the UK, so she would definitely work. I do love Behind Closed Doors. It's one of my favorites, but it does have to do with domestic abuse. So just know that going into that. I do love most of her books, but her last one or two have gotten quite a bit of language in them, so I don't know honestly if I'm going to continue her books or not. But this one honestly might have had one swear word in it, so really, really love Behind Closed Doors. It's one of my favorite books. So that one, she is definitely from the UK. I know Sophia Kinsella, who writes the Shopaholic series. She's from the UK. Well, who else is from someplace? Maybe this author. Let's see. Although I haven't read it, but let's see. Maybe not. No, she might not be. No, I don't think she is. I was just looking at Liberty. I don't think she is, but it's okay. Let's see. Although these books I haven't read yet, but they're on my list for next year, so that's why I'm looking. Okay. Oh, she's perfect. So, Jane Igaro, The Sweetest Remedy. She is from Nigeria. She was born in Nigeria, but immigrated to Canada. So she's from both. So she works. But that's on my list to read next year. So I haven't read it yet. I don't know if it's good or not, but that's an option for myself. So yay. So that's a few different choices. I know there's tons of other authors. I'm not sure where Ruta Sepetys is from, because I know her books are pretty good. I don't know where she's from, but her name kind of gives the hint that maybe she's from another country, but I don't know. I'm trying to find a biography about her. Oh, there it is. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Ruta Sepetys is actually another good one for that translated, because it says her books have been translated into over 40 languages. So if you're stuck, pick up one of her books. I'm sure one of them will have a good one. Oh, she's born and raised in Michigan. Well, that doesn't help any. Okay, never mind about that one. Okay, so those are just a few options that for different countries, except for her, because she's not. That's okay. All right. Okay, next prompt is, let's see. Set in a place you would like to live. So again, this is one I really can't help you with unless you are stuck. I would be happy to find a couple books that are set where you want to live. Me personally, Mackinac Island is one that I would love to live. Paris is another one. Italy. Those are probably my top 3. Maybe England. So those are like my tops. Like I'm gonna find a book that goes into there. Let's see. The next one is souvenir on the cover that you would buy. So again, this is one that's kind of just depends on what you can find. Again, a shirt. If you can find a shirt that says like I Heart New York or I Heart Paris or something, like you get bonus points for that one, because that would be a really great one to have, because that's definitely something that, like, not me personally, but like everybody buys a shirt like that. But if a book has letters on it, if it has pictures, because I know a lot of people don't buy souvenirs, they just take pictures, and that's great. So, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a souvenir that you would buy, just in general, what would you buy on a vacation? So books are fine. Again, books work good for that prompt. So you buy books on vacation, us book lovers, admit it, you do. And then, yeah, so anything really. Keychains. Just anything that seems like it's a very souvenir thing to buy, I guess. So let's see. The next prompt is set in Europe. I can give you a few options for this. Just if you're stuck on set in Europe. Yeah, I'll share some of my absolute favorites set there. Okay, so I have a few top favorites that are set in Europe. So the first one is, this one specifically I don't think takes place in much of Europe. Actually, some of it takes place in, I believe, Mongolia, I think. Not sure. But I know most of Melanie Dickerson's books are set, this is The Warrior Maiden, but most of her books are set either in Germany or around Europe somewhere, and I love her books, so please check her out. If you love fairy tale retellings, her books are amazing, and I love them so much. So she's definitely one. Sarah Sundin is another one. All of her books take place in Europe. So this one is Until Leaves Fall in Paris, and this is my favorite book by the author. I love her book so much, and so most of her books are set in Europe. I think this one is Paris. Yes, Paris. So she has done Paris. She has done Denmark area. She's done quite a few, and I can't remember where her new one takes place. Can't remember. I think it's someplace new though, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, so definitely her, as well as like my new favorite World War II fiction book, which is the Warsaw Sisters by Amanda Barrett. This takes place in Poland, and I just love it so much. It is so good and so impactful, and just, it is a great book. I personally, when I homeschool, once my kids are old enough, like early high school age, I am gonna have this as like a recommended reading because it's amazing and I love it. So yeah, that's just a couple that work for that prompt. Okay, the next prompt is character experience is something you would try. So I don't have any specific book for you because we're all different that way. But like if you love to travel and you want to experience more of that, a character that travels, a character that likes race car driving, a character that does sports, anything that you're interested in, even if it's something that you can't physically do, but you've dreamed about doing it at some point. A book about a ballerina, a circus performer, really anything. Actually, that sounds good, a circus performer. I wanted to be that growing up. But just anything that a character experiences something that you have wanted to try. So anything. It can be an adventure thing like ziplining or hang gliding or anything really. So yeah, just anything. Even I did mention on my on one of the prompts that that even a specific job, if you've always wanted to do, like, I don't know, be a detective or something, just find a book that's about a detective. That counts to any job, career, whatever that you have wanted to experience but you haven't. Pick that. Okay, and then the last prompt is has a map. So I will try to find a few books that have a map in it. I have not looked, so we'll see if I can find some. Okay, so I did do a little searching. I probably do have more. I just don't know where they are at the moment, but I did find two on my bookshelf. I will try to find more, but honestly, you can just look up on Google, look up books with maps, and then Goodreads pops up, and there's usually probably a whole list of options for you. But I did find two that do have maps in it. So Positively Penelope by Paperbacks. This is a romantic comedy story. There is a map in here, so this works perfectly. So there is a map right inside of Skimar, and so if you want to read this, check it out. It's great. It is the second book in a series, but they can be read as standalones. They're about different characters, so. But and then this one, The Blameless by E.S. Christensen. These, I believe, are on Kindle Unlimited. They were quite a while ago, so this is one of my favorite fantasy series. I also have the second book, but the first one at least has a map in it, so I'm very thankful for that. So it does have a map on the inside. So definitely these are two options that I have for you. So those are all I have for you for this video. Feel free to put recommendations down in the comments as well for others that are looking. Please do that. If you know books with maps or books that, you know, have souvenirs on the cover, anything really, just let us know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.